Welcome to Revenge Unfolded.
The sky over London is the colour of wet slate. A phone buzzes on a desk. One line on the screen. He will choose fire. Not you. Amara stares at the words. Her thumb hesitates. She blocks the number. She breathes out. She tells herself this is noise. She tells herself she is steady. She is 32. She designs things that calm storms inside the body. She believes in edges that hold. Her mother is gone. Her father runs a shop in Whitechapel. He trusts easily. He smiles at strangers. He gives extra fruit to kids with sad eyes. Amara loves him. She guards him. She learned to be hard when the world is not. At home in Shoreditch, she shares a flat with Leah. 2 bedrooms. Cracking paint. A balcony with a plant that always looks thirsty. They have been friends for 6 years. They share rent, takeout, and late-night jokes. They also share secrets. Amara thinks this is safety. Leah thinks this is leverage. Leah is 29. Sharp laugh, quick eye. She works in marketing at a rival company. She grew up with less. She learned to take. She calls it being resourceful. Hunger shaped her. It still does. Ethan comes by most nights. He is a trauma nurse. He smells like coffee and antiseptic. He is calm after chaos. He is steady. He is saving for a ring she does not know about. He keeps the plan tucked under his ribs like a promise. Leah and Ethan tease each other. They trade quips. They bump shoulders in the kitchen. Amara sees it. She tells herself it is harmless. She trusts them. Trust feels like a warm blanket. It can also hide knives. Amara's brother, Yusuf, drops by the shop and the flat. He is 26. Beats in his headphones. Worries in his eyes. He owes money. He pretends he does not. He says, "I've got it." He does not. Work is pressure and pride. Amara's team is small. Priya tests everything and misses nothing. Jonah counts data and collects old cameras. The new CEO, Rob, is charming. He is never in on Fridays. He says, "Investors." The train to Brighton sees him often. Rob pulls Amara into a glass room. He slides a folder across the table. "This is your baby," he says. "Early panic detection, heart rate variability, skin conductance. If this works, we change lives." He taps the table twice. "Do not share files outside the team," he smiles. "I trust you." At home, Leah pours wine. "How's the secret project?" she asks. "Investors? Timelines?" Her voice is casual. Her eyes are not. Amara shares a little. She stops when she feels a line. Leah notices the stop. Leah stores it. A family dinner brings a tremor. Amara's father spreads papers on the table. "A developer offered cash," he says. "We could sell. I could rest." Amara shakes her head. "That block is our history." Leah, treated like family, lifts an eyebrow. Sometimes the smart move is to sell. Yusuf keeps stirring tea. He avoids Amara's eyes. Rain hits London like a drum. The lift breaks. Leah climbs 6 flights laughing and breathless. Amara hands her a towel. "You're soaked." Leah's smile is bright and loaded. "Save me?" Static runs through the room. They laugh it off. The air is different now. 2 weeks pass. The prototype shines in the boardroom. It is elegant. It works. Investors nod. Rob claps. A launch date is set. Amara walks out light. The next morning, a rival teases a device online. It looks the same. The tagline is the same. A code snippet flashes for half a second. It has her private naming joke inside. Only the team knew it. Priya whispers. "Leak." Jonah mutters. "Inside job." Rob says nothing. He stares at Amara like the rain is her fault. That night, Ethan is quiet. He says he is tired. He kisses her head. He naps on the sofa. His phone vibrates against the cushion. A preview lights the room. Room 412. Tonight. Same place. The contact is saved as L. 100 excuses jump forward. Liam from the ward. Logistics. Lauren. The mind is a lawyer. It builds a case for hope. The heart feels thunder anyway. At the end of the week, Jonah slides into her path. I saw Leah, he says. Clerkenwell. With Kevin Rains. Kevin runs product at the rival. Jonah swallows. Ethan showed up later. It looked close. He shows a grainy phone photo. 3 faces, 1 table, too close. Amara goes home early. She waits. Midnight brings wet footsteps and citrus gin. Leah stops in the hallway. Amara's voice is level. Were you with Ethan? Leah freezes. Then she laughs like glass. Don't be dramatic. Amara does not blink. Leah exhales. Once, she says. A mistake. He was upset. You were distant. He was drunk. I was. She stops. A thin smile. I'm sorry you had to find out. 10 minutes later, Ethan arrives. Rain on his jacket, shame in his mouth. It meant nothing, he says. I made a mistake. His hand reaches. I love you. Amara steps back. Then why did you choose her over the truth? He cannot answer without breaking himself. The rival announces an investor showcase in Brighton. Same device, same story. Leah is in a photo with Kevin. She wears Amara's spare blazer. The caption says, Strategy lead. Amara feels something inside her go very still. She sees the shape of it. Leah took secrets and affection and spun them into a ladder. She does not scream. She does not beg. She goes to work on time. She stands before Rob. I did not leak, she says. Rob studies her face. Prove it, he says. She will. The plan forms like a diagram. Clean lines, hidden teeth. It begins with family. She finds Yusuf by the stockroom. How much? He looks away. 8,000, he says, plus interest. His voice is small. It's bad. Amara nods. We fix it, she says. You follow my lead. He nods fast. He always trusted her more than he trusted himself. She meets Dr. Lorna Haynes in a quiet office that smells like tea and books. Once, Amara built Lorna a simple breathing tool. It helped anxious patients. Now she asks for a referral. I need someone who finds what people hide. Lorna writes a name. M. Quinn, she says. Walks like a rumor. They meet by the hiss of an espresso machine at King's Cross. Quinn wears navy and a patient smile. What do you need? Amara holds the gaze. Proof, she says. That Leah sold my work. That my ex helped. That my CEO is hedging his bets. Quinn's eyebrow lifts. That is a lot of proof. Amara nods. I also have bait. She pays Quinn. Priya lends her the rest. Make it hurt, Priya says. But make it legal. Always, Amara says. She builds a second device. A decoy that looks perfect. A flaw that hides in the bones. A slow power bleed that only wakes with a special pattern. She names the bug hunger. She tucks it under valid code. She writes in Leah's style guide so it reads like home to the thief. Jonah runs simulations and says nothing heavy. She leaves crumbs where Leah will sniff. An open folder on a shared drive. A schematic under a draft press release. A USB labeled investor demo, backup. She lets Kevin think he is clever. Days pass sharp and bright. Then Quinn sends a message. A video. Leah in a hotel room. She hands Kevin a USB. Kevin counts cash into a square white envelope. Later, Ethan steps in. He looks sick. No more, he whispers. Leah touches his cheek. One last time, she says. For me. He stares at the floor. He says nothing. The clip ends. Hope is stubborn. Facts are louder. Amara does not confront. She texts Ethan only 2 lines. I need space. Please respect that, he replies. Anything you need. She keeps the words. She will use them later. Quinn sends another thread. The Brighton showcase is smoke. The real play is private. Rob plans to meet Kevin in Brighton. They will shift licensing rights through a shell in Malta. Rob gets a cut either way. He bet on both horses, Quinn says. Amara closes her eyes. She breathes in. Time and room? Quinn smiles. Already did. The plan tightens. The hook sinks. The city hums around her. She chooses precision over fury. She chooses a cold blade over a loud hammer. She will not be cruel. She will be exact. She messages Leah. I'm sorry for everything. I'm going to resign. Let's end it clean. Brighton. Tomorrow. Leah replies fast. Finally. Room 4. 12. 7. The letter matches the text on Ethan's phone. A clean circle. A glowing coil. Before she leaves, Amara goes to Manor Park. She stands by the stone with her mother's name. The earth is soft. The air is damp. I'm going to do something sharp, she says. I will not be cruel. I will be precise. She places a white carnation. She walks away steady. Brighton waits with salt and grey water. The hotel smells like citrus. Quinn watches from the bar. Jonah sits with a laptop and headphones. He's the quiet one in the corner no one ever sees. At 6:45, Kevin walks into room 412. At 6:55, Leah arrives with hair like polished glass. At 7:05, Ethan slips in and whispers, I should not be here. At 7:10, Rob knocks and steps across a line he drew himself. Amara gives herself 30 seconds to feel the knife. Then, she moves. She counts down in her head. 3, 2, 1. She texts Jonah a single line. Switch to decoy stream. In 3, 2, 1. Jonah routes the floor's network through a temporary proxy. The files on Leah's USB checksum as clean. But when Kevin runs the demo, it reaches to the cloud. It pulls the decoy firmware that looks like gold. Hunger sleeps inside it like a coiled wire. Amara knocks on the door of 412. Leah opens. Surprise flares. Then amusement. You came, she says. How brave. Her smile has teeth. Kevin stiffens. Rob frowns. Ethan looks like he is praying to a god he never believed in. Amara steps in. I heard this meeting is about my work, she says. I thought I should attend. Leah's voice is syrup. By all means. Rob clears his throat. This is not appropriate, he says. Neither is theft, Amara answers. Kevin lifts his chin. This is a misunderstanding. Amara tilts her head. Then show me your files. Leah laughs without warmth. Don't be ridiculous. Amara turns to Ethan. She speaks softly. You once held my hand under a streetlight because I was cold. Now tell me the truth while we can still recognize each other. Ethan's voice is a thread. I messed up, he says. I wanted to stop. I did not. It is not enough. It is something. Quinn slides into the room like a shadow. Evening, Quinn says. A small camera blinks red on a lapel. Rob pales. Who are you? Quinn smiles. A reminder that secrets hate light. Kevin, angered, plugs in the device. He runs the demo as if to prove the world wrong. The screen sings. Graphs rise. The interface glows. It looks true. He grins and hands it to Leah. She straps it on her wrist for show. Hunger wakes. It begins a slow, hidden feed. Quinn triggers the pattern from a phone unseen. The device warms. A warning screen flashes. Unauthorized build, property of Han Design. Trace ID. 3ZQ412. Silence falls like a dropped curtain. Amara speaks in a calm, even line. That trace ID is unique, she says. It pings a log. The log and video are with our board and the Financial Conduct Authority. Rob, check your email. Rob's face drains as he reads. Priya's timed message landed on cue. Expense reports, hotel receipts, Shell transfers, dates, times, names. The pattern draws itself. Leah's eyes flash with fury. You set us up. Amara shakes her head. I gave you a choice. You chose hunger. Ethan looks at the floor. Amara, I am sorry, he whispers. His voice shakes. You helped her hurt me, she says. You will face that. He nods because there is nowhere else to look. Kevin tries steel. You have nothing admissible. Quinn's smile is thin. The hotel's CCTV is good. Your expense entries are sloppy. The Malta shell has your surname misspelled in the founding documents. Cute! Kevin curses under his breath. Rob glances at the window like it could be a door. It is not. Amara picks up the device. She walks to the door and leaves it open. People in the hall pause. They whisper. Leah burns with humiliation. You can't humiliate me and walk away, she hisses. Amara pauses at the threshold. Watch me! She steps into the corridor. Quinn follows. Jonah sends a message. Delivered. All board. FCA. Time-stamped. The train back to London cuts the night. Jonah hands Amara his phone. A new message sits in her inbox. From an unknown domain. A scanned letter from Karachi. 1993. A clinic seal. A signature. It claims her mother could not carry. It claims Amara was adopted and the papers were altered when her mother fell ill. Her hands shake. Who sent this? She asks. Quinn's voice is steady. Someone who wants you rattled. It changes nothing about what is true. Amara looks out at the black glass of the window. I know who I am, she says. We finish this first. Back in London, the drum begins. The board suspends Rob. An independent audit starts. Priya testifies. Precise. Calm. Jonah provides logs. Clean. Complete. Amara meets 2 lawyers in the FCA. She brings evidence. She does not bring rage. She is methodical. She is relentless. She is not cruel. Leah moves out overnight. The keys clink on the table. A note on the counter says, I did what I had to do. The flat feels bigger. The silence feels honest. Ethan writes long messages that bleed. He says Leah used the past to pin him in place. He says she threatened to post old photos and hints if he didn't help one time. Then one time became 2. Then more. He says he hated himself. He wants to apologize in person, not to fix what cannot be fixed, but to look her in the eye and say the truth. Amara agrees to a brief meeting on the South Bank. Daylight. People. Space to leave. They stand near the river. The wind lifts her hair. He wrings his hands once and stops. I buried the truth, he says. That is also a lie. She nods. It island, he cries a single tear. It embarrasses him. She watches. She does not reach for him. Live with it, she says, not cruel. Make something better of it. He nods. He understands the sentence. Leah refuses to go quiet. She posts a slick paragraph online about women tearing down women. Some nod. Some push back. Comments argue in circles. The internet loves clean villains and clean saints. It hates grey. Amara does not respond. She files documents instead. Quinn keeps digging. A new line appears. Leah is not alone. There is a gallery partner who launders cash through pop-up art spaces. He fronts money to small family businesses. He flips blocks to developers. He likes deals that smell like pressure but look like choice. He wears a heavy gold ring. He once stood in Amara's father's shop and smiled politely while making threats with soft words. Amara sees the web now. The theft at work. The triangle at home. The planned sale of the shop. It is not chaos. It is hunger seeking a runway. Leah built a runway out of other people's roofs. Amara will cut it at the hinge. She plans a public meeting at the local mosque hall. Topic: Developer pressure and community rights. She invites neighbors. She invites a journalist who covers housing and ethics. She invites a council member. She sends a polite email to the gold ring man and his partner. She does not invite Leah. She knows Leah will come anyway. People like Leah cannot resist a room where a story is being written without them. While the date approaches, Yusuf stumbles. The gold ring man shows up again. Your son is creative, he tells Amara's father. Creativity is expensive. Amara steps forward. You will have your money in 4 weeks. Stick to the contract. He smiles. Interest doubles. She meets his eyes and does not blink. Stick to the written agreement, she says. He leaves with a laugh like a promise. Her father trembles. Amara is calm. She has already burned the bridge behind him. She also pursues the letter from Karachi. She meets a solicitor. They send inquiries. Her aunt in Birmingham answers the phone with a tremor and a truth. Your mother could not carry, the aunt says. She took you in when your birth mother died. We were afraid of gossip. We made it quiet. Amara sits on the edge of the bed that night and lets the world tilt. Then it settles. She is still herself. The new fact is a door, not a cliff. The day of the meeting arrives with grey light and nerves. Yusuf paces with hands in his pockets. The journalist tests a recorder. The council member shuffles notes. The gallery partner arrives with a smile that does not reach his eyes. 10 minutes later, Leah slips in. Wearing black like a shadow, Amara steps to the front. We are here to talk about pressure that feels like choice, she says. We are here to talk about money that moves in circles and lands in the same hands. Leah laughs in the back. Conspiracy, she calls. Heads turn. Amara does not flinch. Leah Porter, she says. You took my work. You tried to take my family's home. You may speak, but you will also listen. She plays a short clip on a projector. Leah gives Kevin a USB. Kevin counts cash. Then a voicemail. The gold ring man says to Yusuf, people like you should know when to leave. The room murmurs. The council member's eyebrows knit. The journalist writes fast. Leah's mask cracks. You think you are better than me, she says. You got the nice father, the nice job, the love story everyone claps for. I had to claw. I had to take. Her voice shakes. You've never been hungry. Amara's reply is soft and sharp. I have been hungry, she says. I've stood in a cold shop while my father coughed. I have eaten grief for breakfast, but I did not become what hurt me. Silence holds. Then the council member speaks. Miss Porter. Sir, she says to the partner, provide documentation. Expect contact from the Serious Fraud Office. The partner's smile fades. He whispers to a man near the door. They slip out. The journalist follows. Leah looks around as if the floor moved. She glares at Amara. You think you won? Amara shakes her head. There is no winning here, only what comes next. Ethan stands by the doorway. He watches Amara hold a room. He sees her fully. He looks down. He understands what he lost. Outside, Leah corners Amara. The air is sharp. You ruined me, she says. I needed a way out. Amara's voice is even. You had 100 other choices. Leah laughs, brittle. Not for people like me. Amara's reply is quiet. Then be a different person. Leah's eyes are empty. I don't know how. She turns and goes. Consequences begin to land like rain. The FCA opens an inquiry into Rob and Kevin. Rob resigns in disgrace. Kevin is placed on leave. The rival pulls back their teaser after heat complaints appear online from test units. Hunger did its job, and no one was seriously harmed. The board offers Amara an interim lead role. She declines. Create independent oversight, she says. Fund a community grant. Place devices in clinics that cannot afford them. The board agrees because the facts on the table are heavy and the cameras are close. Yusuf attends a debt advice workshop. He builds a payment plan. The gold ring man feels the heat and backs away. Yusuf apologizes to their father in the quiet of the stockroom. Their father puts a hand on his shoulder. "We start again," he says. The words make a small, solid bridge. Months turn like pages. London learns to breathe again. The product is rebranded. Pulse quiet. It launches with care. It is steady. It helps. A teenager at the launch slips it on and smiles like a clenched fist uncurled. Amara stands at the back. She watches. She lets herself cry. Priya squeezes her hand. Jonah clicks an old camera. The sound is a period at the end of a hard sentence. Leah vanishes from public feeds. Rumors churn. North. Spain. New brand. New city. The truth is quieter. She is in Brighton. She works hotel shifts under another name. She is not poor. She is not rich. She is out of tricks for now. Ethan keeps his head down. He reports everything to the hospital ethics board. He is suspended for 2 months. He accepts it. He volunteers at a free clinic. He sends one email to Amara. "I will not ask anything of you." She leaves it unanswered. The space between them is clean. Amara starts a program with Dr. Haynes. Shelter partners, devices for women who need calm, workshops that teach breathing and boundaries. She walks home at night with tired legs and a full chest. She texts her father cat photos in tiny hats. He replies with recipes, weather warnings, and love. One evening, a small package waits at her door. No return address. Inside is a white gold ring, simple, the kind Ethan would choose. A note in familiar slanted handwriting. "Found this at a pawn shop. It had your name in a file. Might be yours. Leah." Amara sits at the table. She understands. Ethan had saved. Leah had pawned it when the walls pressed in. She returns it now as truce or apology or confession. Amara writes a brief note. "We are both more than our worst day." A week later, she leaves it at the Brighton hotel desk. Quinn says Leah still cleans rooms on the 4th floor. The clerk warns that messages get lost. Amara nods. That is all right. Mercy does not need an audience. A month after the launch, an auditor meets Amara in a quiet conference room. She is in her 50s, sharp eyes, gentle laugh. "Your documentation impressed me," she says. One detail stood out. The trace ID, 3, ZQ4, 1, 2. Elegant. She leans in. "You built that trap long before anyone stole anything, didn't you?" Amara remembers a night, months before. Leah teasing, "You're paranoid." Amara saying, "I'm prudent." After Ethan fell asleep on the sofa, she wrote a small rule. If any file labeled Investor Demo leaves the network without the right internal signature, the system flips the firmware to a decoy and stamps it with a unique trace ID. She did it not because she expected betrayal. She did it because she respected the weight of what she built. She meets the auditor's gaze. "I have learned that people are people," she says. "I build for that." The auditor smiles. "Then build more." The story could end here. It does not. There is one more shadow. One more door. Quinn calls late. "There's movement," Quinn says. The gallery partner is washing his hands. He's selling assets. He's nervous. Amara feels a pulse of old anger. She lets it pass. "Let the law do its job," she says. But watch him. Days later, Jonah shares a photo he took by chance. A man on a railing, phone lit blue. The same angle as the night the unknown text arrived. He is a stranger. He stands outside the clinic where Leah now does housekeeping on weekends. Jonah says, "Probably nothing." Amara looks longer. The hair lifts on her arms. The message from long ago slides back into her mind. He will choose fire, not you. She walks home under streetlights. She opens her blocked numbers and deletes the old entry. She will not live by warnings from ghosts. But she will not ignore shadows either. Her father locks the shop early. Yusuf counts cash, with quiet focus. The door chime rings. A woman enters with a small boy. She asks for milk. Her hands shake. Amara's father gives her milk and bread and a smile. "Pay later," he says. "Feed him now." Amara watches. This is why she fought. This is the center. She meets Ethan one last time. He asks for 5 minutes only. She agreed. They stand near the river again. He does not apologize again. He says one sentence. "Thank you for not lying to yourself to save me." She nods. "Be well." He nods. They part. A week later, a letter arrives from Karachi. Official seal. Records confirm what her aunt said. Adoption. Paperwork altered to protect a family from gossip. Amara feels grief and gratitude tangle. She lights a candle. She places it by her mother's photo. "Thank you," she whispers, to all the women who held her before she knew their names. The board invites her to join a new ethics committee. She says yes. She will not lead for headlines. She will build guardrails so the next person does not fall. Priya gets a quiet promotion. Jonah starts a small photography show in a community hall. His first photo sells to a nurse who likes the color of rain on glass. They celebrate with cheap wine and samosas. They laugh. The sound is human and clean. At night, Amara sits on the balcony, with a book she does not read. The plant still looks thirsty. London hums below. She has the ring in a small box on the table. She will never wear it. She keeps it as a witness. A circle that could have been. A lesson that was. Then a message arrives that tightens the air. The message is anonymous. Again, it contains a single photo. A CCTV still. A hallway in a Brighton hotel. Leah in a uniform. A man with a gold ring speaking to her. His hand is gripping her elbow. His mouth is close to her ear. The timestamp is yesterday. The caption is 5 words. "He wants his money back," Amara calls Quinn. "He's pushing her," she says. Quinn's voice is cool. "He is cornered," Quinn says. "Cornered men do stupid things." Amara looks at the ring in its box. Choices ripple backward. "We are past revenge," she says. "This is harm prevention." Quinn already has a thread. The partner is trying to liquidate. He needs cash. Leah knows places he stashed receipts. He wants them. Leah is a loose end. If he scares her enough, she might run. Or she might make a mistake. Or he might close her mouth forever. Amara does not sleep. She maps what she knows. Hotel shifts. Back entrances. CCTV blind spots. She writes a plan that is not vengeance. It is rescue and exposure, consequence without blood. She sends Leah one line. "Leave the hotel tomorrow at noon for a smoke break by the side alley. 5 minutes only." Leah replies after a long hour. A single word. "Why?" Amara writes, "Because I know him. Because I know you. Because I am choosing who I am." At noon, the alley smells of salt and old beer. Leah steps outside with a cheap lighter. "If this is pity," she says, "keep it." Amara shakes her head. "This is a deal," she says. "You give me every receipt, every email, every contact detail. I give you a file that makes him back off, because prison scares him more than poverty." Leah stares. "Why help me?" Amara's answer is simple. "Because if he hurts you, I live with it too." Leah looks down. "I sold your life once," she says. "Don't sell it back to me." Amara holds out a small envelope. "This is leverage, not mercy," she says. "Use it, then disappear properly." Leah takes the envelope with shaking hands. Quinn waits around the corner with a phone set to record. The gold ring man arrives 3 minutes later, with a hard smile and a soft voice. "A friendly chat," he says. His partner flanks him. Leah lifts her chin. "I'm done," she says. She holds up the envelope. "Take one step and this goes to the SFO, and the council member, and the journalist who hates you." He lunges. He is quick. Quinn steps in with an ID that may or may not be real, and a voice that does not shake. "This is recorded," Quinn says. "Walk away." He hesitates. His partner pulls his sleeve. "Not here," the partner hisses. They step back like snakes reconsidering the heat of the road. They leave with threats that sound smaller out loud. Leah exhales. She looks at Amara with an expression that has no name. "You saved me," she says. Amara's face is stone. "No," she says. "I saved the part of me that did not want to see you hurt." Leah nods slowly. "I don't know how to be better," she whispers. "Try boring," Amara says. "Boring is safe." They part without hugging. Old shards sit between them. Some will never dissolve. That evening, the journalist publishes a long piece. It ties shell companies to developer pressure. It uses receipts from the envelope. It quotes the council member. It mentions a community meeting where a woman said, "Pressure can look like choice. The web unravels in public. The partner is arrested for unrelated fraud within days. The gold ring man disappears. The shop on the corner that he wanted stays in family hands. The neighbors bring sweets and stories and laughter that fills the street like music." Amara takes a long walk in the late light. She passes the hospital where Ethan is back at work. She does not go in. Some doors remain closed. She buys flowers and takes them to a grave in Manor Park. "We are okay," she tells the stone. "We are more than our worst day." On her way home, she sees the man from Jonah's photo, railing. Blue phone glow. He looks up as if he recognizes her. He doesn't. He is only a shape the mind gave meaning. She smiles. She keeps walking. At home, the flat is quiet. The plant on the balcony is still thirsty. She waters it. She eats leftover curry. She opens the ring box. She holds the circle in her palm. She thinks of promises that were real even if they never happened. She puts the ring back with care. She turns off the light. Then the door knocks. She checks the peephole. "Quinn!" She opens. Quinn steps in with a folder. "One last knot," Quinn says. "The auditor found something clever. And something dangerous." Amara sits. "Tell me." "The decoy," Quinn says. "Your protocol was brilliant. But Rob used a similar trick once. Months ago. He embedded a kill switch in early investor demos. It could spike a device if someone tried to clone it. He never used it. But the code exists in his archives. If the rival had stolen that version, it could have hurt someone." Quinn's mouth tightens. "We need to surface it. Not to punish more. To prevent harm later." Amara nods. "We go to the board. We go to the FCA. We go to the rival." Quinn raises a brow. "To the rival?" Amara's voice is steady. "Yes. Even thieves should not ship bombs. They do it. They deliver code reviews and dates and signatures. The rival grimly thanks them. It is ugly. It is necessary. It closes a door that should never have been opened." Amara sleeps for 12 hours. She wakes light and sore. She answers a text from Priya with a small heart. She scrolls past Ethan's name without stopping. She writes to Yusuf. "Proud of you. Keep going." He replies with a selfie from the shop. 2 thumbs up. A grin that is still a boy's. She makes tea. She stands at the window. She feels peace and ache living together in her chest like neighbors who nod but do not knock. The phone buzzes. The number is unknown. Again. The message is a single sentence. You think the fire is out. She could ignore it. She could block and forget. Instead, she answers. "The warning did not define me. But I do not leave matches near curtains. Who is this?" She types. No reply. A minute passes. 2. Then a photo arrives. A dim street. A shape by a railing. Her flat window. Tonight. The angle is from below. She feels her skin prickle. She does not panic. She calls Quinn. Someone is playing, she says. Outside my building. Quinn is there in 10 minutes. They walk down the stairs together. The pavement smells like rain. The spot by the railing is empty. A cigarette butt smolders. A simple phone leans against the post. Burn phone. No contacts. One image. The photo that was just sent. Quinn pockets it. He wants you to feel watched, Quinn says. He wants you to write the rest of the story for him. Amara nods. Then we do not give him ink. They file a report. They add it to the case file that already hums with names and dates. They do not post about it. They change nothing about their routines except one thing. They move the plant from the balcony to the kitchen. It looks less thirsty already. Days pass. Summer leans in. The city sweats and smiles. Pulse quiet numbers climb. Shelters place orders. A mother at a clinic sends Amara a message. It helped. I slept through a whole night. Thank you. Amara reads it twice. She lets herself be proud without apology. Her father plans a small cookout behind the shop. Neighbors bring food. Children chase each other between crates. Music hums quietly. Yusuf flips kebabs with a serious face. He laughs when smoke makes him cough. His debts shrink month by month. His shoulders sit a little higher now. Ethan passes the shop on his break and does not go in. He watches through the glass for a minute, then walks away. He deletes Amara's name from his favorites. He keeps it in his head. He does not call. He understands the difference between longing and entitlement now. Leah leaves a final envelope with the hotel clerk. Inside are 2 sentences. I sent the first text. I thought fear would make you cling to him. I was wrong. Under it is a second line. Smaller. I am trying, boring. It is hard. Amara reads it on the bus. She looks out the window at a woman holding a sleeping child. She writes one sentence on the back. Hard things are worth it. She drops it in the post to the hotel with no expectation of an answer. The auditor closes the investigation with a formal note. Findings. Recommendations. Changes adopted. Independent oversight in place. A grant program funded. A public apology from the board for control failures. Rob's name becomes a cautionary tale in small industry circles where people drink too much at conferences and whisper what not to do. Amara meets the auditor for coffee. The woman smiles. You kept it clean, she says. No spectacle. Amara nods. Spectacle burns bright and dies fast, she says. I wanted something that lasts. The auditor lifts her cup. Too lasting, she says. Amara walks home through a street washed by rain. She stops under a familiar streetlight. The metal hums quietly. A man leans on the railing, but he is only a man. He looks up and smiles as she passes. No blue glow this time. Just a stranger with a story she will never know. She unlocks her door. She steps into her quiet flat. The plant in the kitchen looks alive. She pours water. She hums. She sets the white gold ring back in its box and places it in a drawer with a label. Lessons. Her phone buzzes again. An email this time. From the independent auditor. Subject line. Final confirmation. Inside is a paragraph and a single sharp question. One thing puzzled me. The trace ID 3ZQ412. How did you choose it? It's the hotel room where it all turned. It's also the train code for a route that does not exist. It is neat. It is poetic. It is... Careful. You built the trap before the theft, didn't you? Amara smiles at the screen. She types back. I have learned that people are people. I build for that. Then she adds one more line. And I build for myself too. She sends the email. She stands by the window. The city moves below like a living map. Car lights, bicycle bells, a woman laughing into her phone. The world keeps going. It will not wait for anyone. It should not. She thinks of fire, of the text that promised it, of all the ways heat can be used. To burn, to warn, To weld. She opens the window and lets the night in. She breathes. On the table, her notebook lies open. She writes a short list in clean ink. Take care of father. Check on Yusuf's payment plan. Submit clinic grant report. Water plant. Block no one. Watch instead. Build more. A shadow moves across the ceiling as a car passes below. It looks like a wave. It looks like a hand. It looks like nothing at all. She closes the notebook. She turns off the light. She carries her calm into the bedroom like a lantern. The phone glows once in the dark. A final message arrives and sits unread until morning. It is from a new number. It holds a single sentence. He will choose fire. Not you. In the morning, she reads it on the balcony with tea. She smiles. She types a reply for the first time. He already did. The fire was mine. She presses send. She puts the phone face down. She watches the city wake. The story ends not with another knife, but with a choice held and kept. The circle is closed, but the road ahead is open. The edges of her life are sharp. Her hands are open. She is not afraid of dark or light. Somewhere in Brighton, a woman in a hotel uniform checks a pocket and finds a note that says, "Hard things are worth it." She presses it flat in her palm. She walks down a hallway that smells like polish and lemons. She chooses boring again. Somewhere in London, a nurse finishes a shift and sits on a bench and does not text an old love. He stares at the river until he can breathe without hurting. He stands. He goes back into the building. He tries again to be the man he had hoped to be. Somewhere under a streetlight, a stranger puts out a cigarette with the heel of his shoe. He looks up at windows. He decides to go home. Amara turns the page of her notebook and writes a new line. Build more.